Hello everyone, this side Diksha Ahuja. Welcome back to my channel Economic Zone by Diksha Ahuja. In this video, I have come up with chapter, unit, foreign exchange and balance of payment of class 12 macroeconomics. So why this topic is interesting and why this unit is interesting, because it talks about, as we have studied about the Indian economy, Indian economic macroeconomics. Now there's a turn to open the economy and to know how our economy is also linked to the other countries. So basically, this unit will deal with Indian economy with the other countries. That means the foreign economies. So that's how the chapter name is, also foreign exchange markets and balance of payment. This consists of 6 marks. This comprises of 6 marks in class 12 boards. So it is easy to score and understandable. So I hope this video is worthwhil and useful for you, because this video will contain the summary of this entire unit. Okay, so basically topic we are starting off with foreign exchange market, and then we'll move to balance of payment one by one. So what do you mean by foreign exchange rate? First of all, foreign exchange rate means if one currency can be converted into other. If I'm saying 1 euro is equals to 90 rupees, then I'm saying definitely to buy 1 euro I need to pay 90 rupees. Right. Similarly, $1 is equals to rupees 60 means to purchase this $1 I need to pay 60 rupees. So what do you mean by foreign exchange rate? Foreign exchange rate means it is the rate at which one currency can be converted into another currency. Like by paying $1, if some foreign tourist is coming in India and they want rupees, so by paying $1 they must get rupees 60 as their rate. Okay, so before this you should know what do you mean by foreign exchange. Then only we'll be able to know what is the rate. Foreign exchange means the other currency. It can be anything, and you should know that Kuwait dinar is having the highest value. So as we are saying $1 goes to 70, 80 or 90, it's going on 70 to 72 nowadays. So it fluctuates. Why it fluctuates, we'll know about all the macroeconomics in this video. Okay, so foreign exchange means the other currency. The other currency, let's say dollars, is known as foreign exchange. So you should know, before starting this unit, you should know there are 3 types of exchange rate systems. Right, before you can say 1970, fixed exchange rate system was famous. What do you mean by fixed exchange rate system? Where many economies were fixing their exchange rate on the basis of gold standard or Bretton Woods system. Gold standard and Bretton Woods system were 2 systems in which the exchange rate is determined according to the gold standard, gold, or on second Bretton Woods system, the Indian rupees was backed by pegged. Pegged is a word used for fixed, right? You should know. Fixed is also known as pegged exchange rate system, because exchange rate was fixed according to the US dollar. Like all other countries used to set the exchange rate as per the US dollar. So the very first exchange rate system, which was famous earlier but now it is not prevalent, it was famous, was fixed, or you can say pegged exchange rate system. There were merits also, there were demerits also, but first of all, what do you mean by meaning? So that exchange rate system in which the exchange rate was determined or fixed by the government. Government do not want to make it fluctuate. If the government has fixed the exchange rate to $1 equals to rupees, let's say 60, they have fixed it, right? Government will try to maintain that. Government will do whatsoever, right? Let's say if the exchange rate, if imports is more than exports, the central bank or the government will intervene in the market and anyhow will solve the problem, but exchange rate को fluctuate नहीं होने देगा. The next topic we'll study what do you mean by fluctuation. Fluctuation means either the currency value is rising or falling, right? So what is fixed exchange rate system? In which the government decides the exchange rate. The exchange rate is decided by the government. Okay. The second is flexible, or you can say floating exchange rate system. Flexible or floating itself is telling you the market for the flexible means it is changing quietly, right? Quite rapidly, right? So flexible or floating means here when the exchange rate is changing according to the demand and supply of foreign exchange. Let's say we are demanding dollars for imports, supply is coming of dollars because of exports and many other reasons. So demand and supply of foreign exchange will decide the exchange rate in flexible and floating. After 1970s, this started coming in many countries, right? And you know, India's opened its economies in 1990. So 1990 में LPG policy के साथ साथ they did given the role to demand and supply also. So from 1991 we have taken the control of a flexible exchange rate system. So what's that? It is that exchange rate system in which the exchange rate is determined by the market forces of demand and supply of foreign exchange, right? And but what is going on nowadays? Third type of exchange rate system is managed floating exchange rate system. Managed floating, also known as dirty floating, also known as dirty floating. Why this name is given and what do you mean by managed floating? Managed floating means when we are managing this exchange rate system. Basically, it is a hybrid of both the exchange rate system. It's a combination which is going on nowadays. That means, वैसे तो who will decide the exchange rate? The demand and supply of exchange rate will only decide the exchange rate. But sometimes central bank will also intervene in between if the central bank do not want, if the government do not want to change the exchange rate. If let's say the central bank or the government do not want this exchange rate to change, then they will intervene and control the change in exchange rate. Let's say exchange rate is going to be 72 to 75. Right, 60, let's say the exchange rate was earlier 70 nowadays, but it 75 हो जाएगा if you will not stop the exchange of goods, right? So I don't want this to happen, right? The government don't want this to happen. Then what the government will do? The central bank will sometimes intervene. How it will intervene? अगर imports exports से ज़्यादा हैं, right? अगर imports exports से ज़्यादा, definitely I need to pay more as compared to what I am getting. So I need to pay dollars. I require dollars. So what I'll do is I will sell my currency and purchase dollars from somewhere, so from some other country, and I will pay the imports. Right? इससे क्या होगा? There is no change in exchange rate. Now we are understanding what do you mean by appreciation and what do you mean by depreciation, and then again we will understand how this changes. Right? I am again telling in hybrid, that is the managed floating or dirty floating, demand and supply of exchange rate decides the exchange rate, but central bank also intervenes when they do not want to change the exchange rate, and they will intervene, purchase foreign currency for domestic currency, and will pay the money for imports. There will be no change in exchange rate. Let's know what this change known as depreciation. I'm using two words, right? So when 70 to 75 hota hai, we'll talk about what's that. Now let's understand when the exchange rate changes. Let's say the exchange rate rises from 60 to 70, what does that mean? Or if the exchange rate falls from 60 to 50, what does that mean for Indian consumer and for US consumer both? You should know. Depreciation or for flexible exchange system, and devaluation also termed in fixed exchange system, right? Appreciation when it takes place in flexible, और यही सेम चीज अगर फिक्स एक्सचेंज सिस्टम में हो रही हो, because by the government, let's say government has to do depreciation, that will be known as devaluation, which used to happen earlier. And similarly, appreciation is used to named as revaluation earlier when fixed exchange rate system was prevalent. So let's start. Fall in the value of domestic currency. Depreciation, the word itself tells you fall in the value of fixed assets, right? Your normal depreciation definition says fall in the price of fixed assets. Here we are saying depreciation means fall in the value of domestic currency. हमारी करेंसी की वैल्यू कम हो गई. Now why we are saying that depreciation means fall in the value of domestic currency, right? Depreciation says in which exchange system? In flexible exchange rate system. You should remember, in flexible exchange rate system. So what does this mean? What does depreciation means? Depreciation means that, let's say for example $1 is equals to ₹60 चल रहा था, and now $1 is equals to ₹70 हो गया. That means earlier $1 was ₹60, right? Earlier I used to pay ₹60 to get $1 toffee. Let's say there's a toffee of $1 and उसके लिए मुझे ₹60 पे करने पड़ते थे. Now I have to pay ₹70 to get goods worth $1, right? That means the US dollar have become costly for me. In other words, you can say the rise in the price of foreign currency. Foreign currency costly हो गई. ये माइंड में रखना है. The foreign goods have become costlier because the foreign currency has become costlier. So what will happen to import and exports? The imports will fall. And why imports will fall? Because now I have to pay ₹70 instead of 60 to get $1 goods. Okay, and what will happen to exports? Exports will rise. Why so? Think from a US consumer. Earlier, by paying $1, they were getting goods rupees 60. Now, by paying $1, they're getting goods worth rupees 70. That means that's good for them, isn't it? ये उनके लिए अच्छी चीज है. Why? Because earlier by paying that same $1, they were getting 60 rupees का goods, and now they're getting 70 rupees का goods by paying the same $1. They will be happy, so exports will rise, right? Okay, this is devaluation or depreciation. I'm repeating. Devaluation occurs in flexible, and devaluation is named in fixed exchange system. Now, what do you mean by appreciation? Appreciation बहुत years से हुआ नहीं है, but you should know what do you mean by that. Appreciation means rise in the value of domestic currency. Let's say there is a magic saying that 60 से 50 rupees हो गया, right? Say dollar one is also rupees 60 था. That means earlier I used to pay 60 rupees to buy the goods worth rupees $1. Now I have to pay rupees 50 to get the goods worth rupees $1. I'm happy. Who is happy here? Indian consumer is happy here. So imports will rise in this case because Indian consumer is happy. Earlier I was paying 60 rupees to get that $1 toffee. Now I'm paying only 50 rupees to get that $1 toffee. Indian consumer is happy. Imports will increase because we demand dollars for imports. We demand dollars for imports. What do you mean by exports? When we are providing goods to other countries and getting the dollars. So now for US consumer it is a bad thing. Why so? Because earlier they were paying $1 and getting the goods worth rupees 60. Now by paying the same $1 they're getting the goods worth rupees 50. That's bad for them. That's not happy for them. So they will decrease our exports. This is the difference between the depreciation and appreciation. Now this topic is here itself. You should know demand क्यों करते हैं हम. Like for this year the determination is not in syllabus, but मैं थोड़ा सा उसको provide करना चाहती हूँ, right? Because why we demand dollars while dollars are being supplied. Let's talk about demand and supply of dollars. So let's talk about the effect of depreciation on imports and the effect of depreciation on exports. In other words, why we demand dollars and why dollars are being supplied. Right? It can come in 1 mark or 3 mark. The effect of depreciation. For that, you should understand the demand and supply of foreign exchange. When these demand and supply will intersect, right, the determination of exchange rate will take place. But that is not in syllabus for this year, so we're not gonna do that. We'll do till here, then we'll move to balance of payment topic. Okay, so foreign exchange rate, demand for foreign exchange, supply of foreign exchange. Right, let's start. So let's say depreciation has taken place. That means the value of our currency has fallen. Meaning that earlier the dollars was worth 60 rupees, now it's worth 70 rupees. That means earlier I used to pay 60 rupees to get that $1 toffee. Now I am giving 70 rupees to get that $1 toffee. So you can say there's a rise in the price of exchange rate. R1 से R2 हो गया है. Right, the exchange rate has risen. Demand curves look like this. So exchange rate has risen like this. Exchange rate has risen. So what will happen to the demand? Just think of why we demand dollars. We demand dollars because we need to import. When we will import, we'll pay in dollars. Assets abroad. Purchasing assets abroad. When we will purchase asset abroad, we have to pay in dollars. Investment abroad. If I want to invest in the shares of a company, I need to pay the investment in dollars. So that's why I demand dollars. So I'll take the proxy as imports of demand, right? So think of when the depreciation will take place, the US goods will become costly for Indian consumer, because earlier we were paying 60 to get $1. Now we are paying 70 rupees to get $1 goods. So it has become costlier for us. So imports will decrease Q1 to Q2. So you can say there is an inverse relationship between price of foreign exchange and quantity demanded. Price increase हुआ तो quantity demanded fall हो गई. When the exchange rate has risen from 60 to 70, the imports have decreased, the demand has decreased. So, and vice versa will take place in the case of appreciation. So why supply of dollars come in? Just think of when we export goods and services, we get the money in dollars. When FDI comes in domestic economy, it comes in the foreign currency, and that's why in chapter 3 we have studied the foreign direct investment जो इंडिया में आई थी, that flooded. Okay, donation received from abroad, कुछ भी जो बाहर से आ रहा है, that will come in dollars. Supply will come. So depreciation means 60 to 70 हो गया है, right? So exchange rate has risen from R1 to R2. So what will happen to exchange rate? Think as a US consumer, by paying 60, by paying $1, they were getting goods rupees 60. Now they are getting goods worth rupees 70 by paying that $1. अब $1 पे करने के बाद 60 के बदले 70 का सामान मिल रहा है. That's why they will demand more. They will demand more goods. हमारे exports अभी बढ़ जाएंगे. So depreciation will increase the exports. Exports will rise. Right? Exports will rise from Q to Q1. Right? So that's why we are saying when price will rise, the quantity supplied will also rise. So there is a direct relationship between these two. So you should know the effect of depreciation on imports, that will fall, and depreciation effect on exports, that will rise. So it is a positive, intuitively it is a positive effect on the economy. Imports come ho gaye, exports बढ़ गए. So which will lead to increase in national income, because imports are falling, exports are increasing. That's a very good sign for national income. So that's why from here we can say depreciation is good for the economic point of view. But if we'll see this, तो हमारी currency की value is falling. Okay, let's talk about the last thing, determine the intersection. That is when the demand and supply will intersect. When the demand for exchange rate and supply for exchange rate is intersect, at that point of time we will get the equilibrium. Demand and supply will intersect, we will get the equilibrium exchange rate. Okay, this is it for today. We'll come in the next video with the topic balance of payment.